In the headlines, DFC appeals to the business community to sponsor the remaining 2 contestants for the Miss Dominica pageant 2019. 3 years after Tropical Storm Erica displaced them, the first 38 families from Petit Savan will receive keys to their new homes at Bellevue Chopin. And reigning Calypso monarch Daryl Bob wants to redefine the monarchy by sponsoring 4 needy children. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Get ready to open the best gifts with Flow this Christmas. Sign up for a new broadband or TV service with free installation. Or sign up for a broadband and TV bundle and get 40% off broadband for the first 2 months. Plus, get a chance to win a 55-inch smart TV, 1 year or 6 months of free service. Enjoy big-time entertainment and big speeds this Christmas with Flow. Terms and conditions apply. Visit discoverflow.co for more.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, 3 of the 5 contestants for the Miss Dominica pageant 2019 have received full sponsorship ahead of that show. 21-year-old Chrislyn Tavernier of Grand Bay has been sponsored by Big Edge Financial Express, Easy Barrel, and T Calypso. 20-year-old Marisol John, representing Sultan and Coptol, has been fully sponsored by D-Treads. And 20-year-old Brittany Felix of St. Joseph received full sponsorship from Dominica National Lotteries. 19-year-old Alia Martin of Campbell and 21-year-old Annick Williams of Goodwill are the 2 young ladies who have not yet been sponsored. Chairman of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Gerald Koolslotig, appealed to others in the business community to come on board and sponsor the other Queen contestants.
I would like to recognize our sponsors. Without you all, we would not have a carnival. So thank you, and let me encourage that we're looking for 2 more sponsors. So please, corporate people out there, please come on board. To the 5 young ladies, trust me, you all are very, very beautiful. And I know it's going to be a tough fight, but may the best win. You all have the best chairperson out, Mrs. Hyacinth, and thank God she has retired now, so she has more time to concentrate on you all.
Acting Festivals and Events Manager of the DFC, Marva Williams, commended the business community for coming on board thus far with the sponsorship of 3 ladies. On the question of whether or not there will be more participants in next year's pageant, Williams says 5 is an appropriate number of contestants.
There's no document that stipulates that it's 7 contestants that must go up for the Miss Dominica pageant. 5 contestants, even after what Dominica went through, I think is ideal for the Miss Dominica pageant, and it's nothing set in stone. I will admit that we had some difficulty in getting the contestants we had from 2018, and it's not because they were not interested, it's because some people moved on after Maria, some persons traveled, and so. And even we are standing here all pretty and ready, and so there are still some individuals who would have wanted to go up for the pageant but who were not ready, who have not fully recovered post-Hurricane Maria. So of course we launched on October 31st, we presented 5 young ladies, and we are continuing with 5 young ladies for the Miss Dominica pageant. It's not the first time, it may happen again.
The National Queen Show is scheduled for 1st March 2019. The appearing order of the ladies will be Alia Martin at number 1, Chrislyn Tavernier number 2, Annick Williams will appear at number 3, Marisol John will take to the stage at number 4, and Brittany Felix will close off each round at number 5. In other top stories, the Bureau of Gender Affairs is increasing its number of partners to help end gender-based violence in Dominica.
The Bureau and the country are observing 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which comes to an end on the 10th of December. Acting Director of the Bureau of Gender Affairs, Melissa Morgan, says a week of activities was held to recognize International Men's Day last month, and this, she hopes, will lead to increased numbers of those advocating for an end to gender-based violence.
Two of these activities which highlighted throughout the week was a Health Fair for Men, where we targeted almost 200 men, and a panel discussion on empowering men to build resilient communities. And one of the things that we highlighted at the panel discussion was gender-based violence against males, because males and boys, men and boys, are also victims. And we hope that throughout the 16 days, some of the allies we built through Men's Week can work with us together as we move through the 16 days of activism. More men on board as we celebrate and we try to eliminate gender-based violence.
Morgan says a trainer of trainees on gender-based violence workshop is among the top activities for the 16 days of activism.
Throughout the 16 days of activism, we would be doing several community outreach, because we want to have healthy communities. We'll be visiting various schools, the Convent Prep, the St. Martin Primary School, communities such as Trafalgar, and one of our main highlights would be a Trainers of Trainers program on gender-based violence, because we want to ensure that people are aware, they have a greater understanding of it, and in that way you create more allies to eliminate this scourge from our communities.
The acting director says a collaborative approach is needed by all stakeholders to bring an end to gender-based violence.
The most recent statistics on gender-based violence show that 86.9% of victims are female. And to further aggravate the situation, almost more than half of that is victims under the age of 16. And it will take a collaborative approach with homes, communities, families in order to put an end to this. And not only for the 16 days of activism calendar, but year-round. On the 25th of every month is Orange Day. So we want to encourage the public to take a stand against gender-based violence, and let the 25th of every month be a reminder to you of why we celebrate Orange Day in the first place. We need to tell perpetrators that enough is enough. We will not tolerate this in our land.
The 16 days of activism ends on Monday, which is World Human Rights Day.
In other developments, reigning Calypso monarch Daryl Bob is sending a message to children across the country that obedience to parents and guardians and maintaining good grades pay off. Daryl Bob has decided to sponsor 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, selected from the communities of Fokole, Yampis and Tarishpit.
But 2 boys and 2 girls because I was interested in keeping the gender balance. 2 boys and 2 girls of single mothers, as it is in me to motivate fathers and see the value in their children. Something that I felt I didn't do a very good job at myself, as I chose to spend more time doing that. Spending time with music, which made me what I am today. But I would really have liked to say, yes, you're a good father too. 2 boys and 2 girls who are obedient to their mothers and guardians. 2 boys and 2 girls who present satisfactory grades to their mothers, aunties, and grandparents. And that's what I found in the 4 young children that I've decided. And when I say sponsor them, it means providing them with their school stuff every year, checking them, make sure they have an adequate food supply, motivating them, sitting with them. One of them told me the other day that he wants to play the guitar, and the guitar, as you know, is my instrument. So that's probably what his Christmas gift will be. And so far it has been fun. I chose not to bring those children to the media to expose their identity so that this thing goes up in their head, everybody checking them. You know, I kind of prefer that they stay in the background in the meantime. So I had criteria, and I am very happy with the 4 that I have selected.
Bob says he has been able to sponsor these 4 students with the help of some benefactors.
I want to say thanks to Gina Lewis in Canada, Lucille Royer in Miami, Jeff Libla in Houston, Larry Baltazar in New York, and the Dominica Houston Association, DHA, who have expressed interest in adopting one of the 4 children. And I would like to say thank you to the many persons who are considering coming on. Please join us in changing lives, one child at a time.
Meantime, Bob is planning a Christmas party for over 60 children. Saturday afternoon's Christmas party starts at 3 at the Calypso House. In other news, an ambitious agenda for CARICOM heads over the next few years. Coming out of this week's 2-day summit in Trinidad and Tobago, heads agreed that a way must be found to unlock $47 billion in savings within the CARICOM community. The idea is to help businesses and governments access affordable capital at affordable rates. It is also the intention to give citizens and companies better options for greater returns on their money. Within the next year, the Secretariat will review how institutions function within the community. The Multilateral Air Services Agreement signed this week will be made operational by February 2019. The provisional application for the Protocol on Contingent Rights has also been signed to make it operational by February 2019. And the new categories of skilled workers announced this week will be allowed to move between now and February. Other initiatives on which agreements were reached include renewable energy.
Why shouldn't the citizens of the Caribbean be investing in companies that provide us renewable energy, particularly since we all know we have to purchase the electricity under power purchase agreement? There is a deemed rate of return that is acceptable in almost every country by our utilities regulators, and therefore the people who ought to be able to benefit from some of those things are ordinary households and ordinary businesses. And how we work with the private sector to make that a reality, we would like to be able to come to heads by July in St. Lucia with a clear plan as to how ordinary Caribbean citizens can benefit from that.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Stay connected and share your favorite holiday moments with Flow. Get the Alcatel A1 for $199 when you activate an extra-large prepaid combo plan, or the Samsung J4 for just $399 with a large postpaid plan, and get free talk evenings and weekends. Plus, get free WhatsApp on large and extra-large prepaid combo plans, and sign up for any new service for a chance to win cash or hampers every week. So make it Flow for everything mobile this Christmas. Terms and conditions apply. Visit discoverflow.co for more.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth, or call 445-5001, 275-5003 today.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
Welcome back. Israel's new ambassador to Dominica has promised to help the country on its resilient development efforts post-Hurricane Maria.
Ambassador Danny Byron Bayer presented his credentials to President Charles Savrin on Wednesday. Savrin said Dominica had suffered tremendous loss at the hands of severe weather systems due to climate change, and as a result the country was working to become the first climate-resilient nation in the world.
In our effort to reconstruct Dominica as possibly the first climate-resilient country in the world, government has identified several critical sectors for intervention to include green energy. Perhaps one of the most difficult challenges impacting negatively on our economic development is the high cost of electricity. To overcome this challenge, the government of Dominica has taken significant steps in the development of renewable energy and is committed to making Dominica the first country to become 100% renewable energy reliant for the generation of electricity by harnessing our considerable geothermal potential.
Ambassador Bayer committed Israel's help to Dominica in its future endeavors.
I know that unfortunately, not long time ago, this wonderful place suffered a terrible hurricane that affected very much the island. But first of all, as a Jew, as an Israeli, I know that we never raise our hands up, and always we have to continue. And I'm sure the wonderful people in this island will continue. And I'm sure that we will continue. I'm very happy to hear and to know that there are approximately 15 Israeli guys here, working here, doing a wonderful job. Until now, the investment here was more than $3.5 million. And we will continue, and Israel will continue, because in a difficult situation, as human beings, we have to lend our hands one to each other.
Dominica's president also informed the Israeli ambassador that the country and the region were on a path to developing a medical cannabis or the medical cannabis industry, and hoped Israel could assist in that regard.
I note in particular that Israel holds the distinction of having the most advanced and most successful medical cannabis program in the world. The cannabis is used to treat such ailments as cancer, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, Crohn's disease, and other chronic and post-traumatic stress disorders. The law on cannabis is an issue of deep social significance to the CARICOM public. It is our hope that your government will discuss with CARICOM the possibility of offering its expertise to the region in the area of research and development.
Dominica and Israel established diplomatic ties in 1979.
38 families from Petit Savan will receive keys to their townhouses and duplexes at the Bellevue Shore Perry settlement site Friday afternoon.
Member of Parliament for Petit Savan, Honorable Kenneth Daru, told DBS Radio's Lunchtime News Thursday it will be a historic day for Dominica. Daru says it's phenomenal the way government has responded to the people's needs. The people of Petit Savan were displaced by Tropical Storm Erica 3 years ago and have been waiting for the completion of their new homes and community at Bellevue Chopin. Daru says the plan is to hand over another 50 homes in the next 2 to 3 weeks. All homes are expected to be handed over by April next year. Daru believes the Bellevue Chopin resettlement will be the first climate-resilient community in Dominica.
And 17-year Calypso veteran and Dominica's 2018 monarch, Daryl Bob, is on a mission to redefine the monarchy.
Bob says he's been gaining some valuable insights in his travels over the past 10 months as Calypso King of Dominica. He says he's been engaging with Dominicans here and abroad on this issue, seeking their input in an effort to elevate the whole concept of the monarchy.
I simply ask them to help me define the Calypso monarchy, beyond just a figure that brings joy to Calypso lovers by singing lyrics that address social issues that in various ways affects people's lives, to a figure that can impact a society in a more tangible way. And my main inspiration behind this question was the many people who made demands of me as to what I should do as Calypso King of Dominica from the day I was crowned. I explained to them that my aim was simply to redefine the Calypso monarchy and portray him as or her as a true ambassador of his or her country and the fraternity. I would really like to move this status to another level where the monarch can initiate change in creative ways for the benefit of our home society. I just want to redefine the monarchy.
Bob has also teamed up with Leroy Waddix Charles to meet Dominicans living in Houston, Texas, New York, and the USVI, where discussions covered a number of topics including post-Maria assistance.
From that meeting, a number of ideas emerged, from efforts to revive talents in Dominica to follow-ups and persons and organizations here who were responsible for receiving burials and sharing goods to needy people here after Hurricane Maria. I was given the responsibility to touch base with organizations, even at the hospital, to find out how those resources were used and were they ever cleared from the port and this kind of thing. And that particular experience was not a very friendly one, I must admit, for reasons that I will not speak about here. But I think generally I will say when people are kind to us, we should touch base with them and say, hi, this thing worked out and thank you, because we may need that kind of connection in the future. That's all I want to say on that. But I had to report that back to Houston. So I offered myself to be a sort of a conduit to the people in Dominica and some of those who contributed in America. And you know, there are a lot of people who were dissatisfied with the way they were treated and so on, and the way their goods were shared and so on. And the story goes on. It's no secret. Whoever is responsible, we have to work on that and fix that.
As monarch, Bob has also made a point of duty to reach out to young people interested in Calypso who needed help in songwriting.
They did not have means of acquiring a good enough recording for their songs. I identified two young persons, a young lady from Wesley and another from Portsmouth. I have since recorded a scratch vocal of one of them and will help them, assist them with recording their songs so that we can introduce them as new youth, new blood coming into the Calypso scene. Work is being done with the others in terms of their logistics to work with, considering they live far away and their school schedule is also a challenge to face. I felt for too long the monarchs have neglected working with young talents, and we must understand that if we are interested in the continuation of Calypso beyond us, we must pay attention to the continuation or the contributions of the youth.
To end the news, the headlines again. DFC appeals to the business community to sponsor the remaining 2 contestants in the Miss Dominica 2019 pageant. 3 years after Tropical Storm Erica displaced them, the first 38 families from Petit Savan will receive keys to their new homes at Bellevue Chopin on Friday. And 2018 Calypso monarch Daryl Bob wants to redefine the monarchy as he sponsors 4 needy students. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.